All right, great. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin today, sitting at $108,700, kind of pumping right now. Starting the day down at 105-ish, and then pumping up on some talks of Iran and Israel settling down, some peace talks happening. It's been going either way, like kind of going both ways. Like there's peace talks, and then there's also like missiles flying and rockets flying currently. So it's confusing what's happening there. I don't know if that's exactly what's causing some of the pumping here, but I think initially that's what kind of started the pump, was some talks of peace in the Middle East. Some just kind of a quick video today, some news on what's happening this week in crypto. So the Genius Act is set to vote tomorrow. So Senate is set to vote on the Genius Act tomorrow, Tuesday, which would establish a clear regulatory framework for stablecoins and their issuers. If passed, this bill would move to the House for consideration. Some people believe in this could help grow the USD stablecoin market from $250 billion to over $2 trillion by 2028. Other key updates include the House advancing market structure, legislator and the SEC scrapping several Gensler-era proposals. So we'll see kind of how this vote plays out tomorrow, but then again, like it's going to move on then to the House to be voted on again. So just kind of going through the hoops before this is eventually, hopefully, passed. Other news this week: on Wednesday, Jerome Powell will be holding a FOMC meeting. Will they cut rates? It's looking like most people believe that rates are going to stay steady. 97% of people on Polymarket saying that there will be no change during this coming FOMC meeting when Jerome Powell speaks. The next meeting after this one is July 30th. We can look at the rates there for a Fed decision. Similar. About 83% of people are saying that there will be no change, and 14% of people kind of betting on a 25 basis point reduction there. And then the next meeting is until September. And I think the rates are probably just a little bit closer. I mean, that's, who knows by September what could happen, but people are saying about 55% for a rate change then. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, Israel and Iran going back and forth. We got the latest news here from New York Times. Israel's national cyber director warned of fake text messages sent to Israelis by a sender posing as the military unit that issues civilian safety guidelines. The message falsely instructs recipients to avoid entering public bomb shelters, claiming there's a risk of terror attacks inside them. Interesting. So they're sending out fake safety text messages. That's the latest there. Yeah, just it's been going back and forth. Obviously this is not like a geopolitical channel. I'm not even going to pretend to know what's going on in the Middle East. But I know that world conflict leads, at least in the short term, it seems, for Bitcoin to dip, which it did. But now, I mean, it's kind of in a way a flight to safety. Here's kind of the latest, overarching view of what's going on. Israel expands its attack on Iran on Monday, striking and setting fire to the headquarters of state television, where anchors were broadcasting live on air as the fiercest and deadliest confrontation in the history of Israeli-Iranian conflict continued into a fourth day. With civilian casualties climbing on both sides, the war now seems likely to last for weeks, not days. Israel appears to be acting with increasing confidence, telling residents to evacuate parts of Tehran and hinting in advance that it might attack the state television complex and claiming full aerial superiority to strike an expanding range of targets. So something to keep an eye on. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on it, seeing how it affects markets. But this is a Bitcoin channel. I'm not going to harp on this too much, but these large world conflicts do have ripple effects into everything. So another, good world news: Vietnam legalizes crypto under a new digital technology law. So Vietnam has passed a new digital technology law that legalizes crypto assets and also outlines incentives for AI, semiconductors, and infrastructure. The law recognizes two categories of digital assets: virtual assets and crypto assets, and mandates cybersecurity and anti-money laundering safeguards. So some bullish news out of Southeast Asia. Very nice to see. Vietnam legalizing crypto under their new laws. Crypto now accounts for most of Donald Trump's net worth. So according to this article, Donald Trump's net worth has shifted significantly towards cryptocurrency, with an estimated 3.3 billion of his total 5.5 billion fortune lying in the industry. Due largely to his Trump coin that he released earlier in the year. Also, his company's recent decision to accumulate Bitcoin, as well as like their digital trading cards and their stablecoin business. So Trump's crypto ventures now account for roughly 60% of his net worth. Very interesting. So cool. That's kind of the big news on the day. Like I said, the FOMC meeting is on Wednesday. Something to look out for. But again, looking at the price of Bitcoin today, looking very healthy, $108,600. Like, looking pretty good. Could we see a pullback to some of this, the 100K range again? Maybe. But that dip when the Israeli-Iran conflict first started didn't put us below 100K. So 100K is looking like a very strong support. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out. I'm going to be putting out a Cardano video a little later today as well. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching the videos as always. And please do subscribe if you could. I'd really appreciate it. And have a great day. Peace.